Hi there, this is Kazungu Duncan from Aero Productions. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to create a simple logo in Photoshop. And I've realized many people are now adapting the creation of logos that are very simple. And for example, today I'm going to deal with just creating a logo from a letter. And for example, I'll create something like this in this tutorial. So, for example, if you need to make a logo, you must make sure that you have, your concept, and you can draw it down and trace it. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to just do it in simple ways. So without further ado, let's get started. Now I'll create a new document by just coming to File, New. Then dialog box will load, and you can rename it to logo, like for example design 1. Then you will choose the size of that page or that artboard that you are making. For example, I'm going to make a 280 by 280. Then also this color mode, leave it to CMYK. Then the resolution to 300. Everything, let it be the way it is. Then just say OK. Then it will load. Now here is our new document. You can see the name here, that logo design 1. Just a quick intro to Illustrator. This is the interface. Of course, this is the toolbar. This is the main menu. And these are the palettes that I'm going to use in this tutorial. So first of all, make sure that you are on the view. Once you are on the view, come here, make sure that the snap to point is checked. Also the smart guides, make sure they are checked. I just like using them. Then on window, you make sure control is checked, align is checked, color is checked, and also gradient is checked. But for me, I've just put them here so that I can access them at a very faster pace. So I need us to start. First of all, I'll create a circle. Come here on this tool, just left click, and you'll find a number of tools, but I'll check and I'll select the ellipse tool. Then I'll draw a circle here. Make sure that I've hold shift so that it is perfect. And once that has been done, I'll make it black, and also make sure that the stroke is not there. It is 0. Then after this is done, I'll want to transform it to, I want to make the height to be, the width to be 400, and also the height to be 400, and hit enter. Then I'll want to align this. So that's why I said you make sure that align is checked. For me, it's here. I'll align it to the center, just like that. And also reduce this opacity to, something like 50. Let me just type in 50, just like that. Then once that is done, I'll also copy this. To copy this, just come here, hover and come here on this circle. Make sure you hold Alt. It will bring a double arrow. Then drag outside to make a new circle. Then this circle, I'll transform it so that it's a half of that. So I'll make sure that the width is 200 and the height is also 200. Hit enter. I'll also align it just like this at the center. I'll also make another copy just like that, and also align it at the center and just do like that. Then once that is done, I'll come here and make sure that this arrow, this double arrow is seen. I'll drag upwards and hold shift. Then I'll make sure that it snaps exactly like that, and just leave it. So you'll have something like this. I'll make sure that I have the move tool by hitting V on the keyboard and just selecting this, all of them. To select all of them, you just click outside and drag inside so that those are all the shapes are covered, just like that. Or you hit Ctrl A on the keyboard, it will select everything. Then once all of them are selected, I'll now take the shape builder by just selecting it here, and I'll come here and I want to remove this center part. So I'll just hit Alt. Once you hit Alt, you see that the sign was positive, then it turns to negative. So once I've held Alt, I'll just click here so that it deletes this center from, this selection. So once that has been deleted, I'll now, just click out so that everything is deselected. So this will form part of the circular part of letter P. So the next thing I want to do, I want to make the straight part or bar from here. So I'll just come here and make sure that the rectangle is selected, and I will draw a simple rectangle here, and I'll come to transform, and I'll make sure that the width is 200 and hit enter, so that it's just like that. And you see this part is called an anchor. So this anchor point, I'll just drag it towards the center until I see those red lines, and just leave it so that it turns into a rounded rectangle. So then I'll take the move tool. After that, I'll hit Control on my keyboard so that it brings these anchor points, and drag this just like this so that it snaps to that specific part of, you know, this circle. Then I'll reduce also the opacity to a half, something like 50. Just enter. Then I'll also want to remove this extra part. I don't want this extra part. So I'll take the pen tool. The shortcut is P, or just come here and select the pen tool. Then I'll come here. You see this purple line. It shows me the center of this very figure. So I'll just click here outside, and also come here, click outside here. Make sure that I've held Shift so that it's a straight line, just like that. And now these ones, I'll just do them randomly and come back and finish that. I'll take the move tool by hitting V on the keyboard and come here. Once this shows this outline, I'll hold Shift to select both of them. Then I'll come to my Pathfinder. If you don't have the Pathfinder, you go to Window and make sure that the Pathfinder is selected. So I'll click on Pathfinder and click on minus front so that I only have that. Then I'll come here and take the direct selection tool and drag over these points and just raise them up to reduce the size of this. Make sure I've held Shift so that it is done on a straight line to somewhere like that. Then I'll also make sure that I have the move tool and select all the layers just like that. I'll also zoom in so that I want to remove this part here. So I'll take the shape builder and just come here and hit Alt on the keyboard and remove that extra part just like that. Yes, so after that has been done, I want now to make this to be in one. I want to make it to be one, so I just to join the different shapes. So I'll come here when the shape builder is on, just click here and drag. Once I drag over it, it is adding the shapes together. I'll also make sure this part is added by just doing like that. Yes, and it has added. So I'll just take the move tool. I have now two parts. For example, I can change the color of this to something different like that so that you can see the two. So I have this one. I also have this one, just like that. Then I'll select all of this and change the opacity back to 100% so that you can see the colors. Now I want to add some gradient on this. So I'll select this one and come to gradient. Where is my gradient? Here it is. If it's not there, go to Window and make sure that the gradient is checked. So I'll just come here, and by default, it will be black and white. So I'll come here on type and make sure that it is linear. You'll see it is white and black, but I want to change that. So I'll double click here. Once I've double clicked there, I'll come to this three bars here. Click here and make sure that HSB is selected. Then I'll pick something close to, pink, just like that. I'll make sure that the saturation is 100. And after that has been done, I'll now come to the whites, double click here, and also make sure that the HSB is selected. Then I will pick something like yellow, just like that. Make sure that the opacity, the saturation is at 100. Can take this slider this way to make it maybe deeper, just like that. Now, I think that is so nice. Then I will also want to, add the same here. So I'll come here and also add a gradient. So I'll come here and say linear. Then it will add, but I want to invert so that this darker part it's here and this lighter part is up there. So what I'll do, I'll come here to this tool. It's called the gradient tool. The shortcut is G. Once this has loaded, I'll come outside here. It will form this circular arrow. Then I'll just, drag it just like this to 180. To make sure it's 180, I'll hit shift so that it is perfect, then release. It will automatically flip that color just like that. So you can see I have achieved that, and maybe at last I need to, make some little changes. You may want to refine this in something. For example, I can see some parts were not well refined, like this part. So what I'll do, I'll just, select all of them just like that. Make sure that they're selected. I'll take the shape builder and just zoom in and remove this part. And also I will want also to remove this part from here so that, it is perfect just like that. It's now good. So what I want to do, I want to add a shadow. I think I had a shadow. Yes, I had a shadow. So to add that is simple. Just take the ellipse tool by picking it from there. Hold the shift key so that it is perfect. And I will remove the gradient. Just make sure it's something like black or any other color that you like. Then transform. I want it to be 200 by 200. So I'll make this 200. I'll also make this 200 and hit enter. Then I will come here on my align and align it at the center, just like that. And I will now flip this so that it's flipping at the top. Just come here, drag it up, make sure shift is held, then it flips just like that. And I'll also make a copy of this by just coming here and holding Alt, dragging outside, and I'll change the color of this one to something like blue. Then after that has been changed, I'll hold Control, then I will drag this so that it snaps, directly here, just like that. And, for example, I want, first of all, I would reduce the opacity. Let me just take it away, just like that, so that I can reduce the opacity to something like 50, so that I can see, what I'm doing, 50, just like that. This is also around 50, so that I can see what I'm doing. Then I'll come here, hold Control, and snap it back to where it was. Once it is there, I'll now hold Shift and just drag it inside like that, maybe to that point. After that is selected, I'll also hold Shift to select the second one and come to my Pathfinder and say minus front so that it is that way. Then I'll select all of them, take the shape builder. I want to remove this part here. So I'll just hold Alt and click there so that it's removed. Take the move tool by hitting V on the keyboard. Then I'll take this one outside and just delete it. So I'll have the shadow already. Then this shadow, I'll now want to reduce its opacity until I feel like, it's good to something like that. So this is what you'll have made. If you've been following, this is what you'll have made at the end of the day. Then you can write here the name of the company or the name of your business so that, you can use this. And these colors, I've just used random colors. You can use the colors of your brand. And this will be so helpful to you. So I will be making other tutorials on how to make complicated logos, but for a start, I just felt like I should show you a quick tutorial on how to make logos, especially from letters. And this will be also be meaningful to your business. And, if you're starting a YouTube channel or a Facebook page, this will also be helpful for you. So, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. And if it was, I would like you to hit that subscribe button, and not only hit the subscribe button, but also remember to turn on the notifications so that you can be notified whenever I upload new stuff. Otherwise, let me meet you in the future tutorials. Until then, remember to keep creating.